Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Sandman, if you don't already know, and let's just jump right into this shit. So, on my Twitch channel, I've begun doing a series on Thursdays and Fridays called Hardcore Alphabetical. It's where I'm playing all of the games in my library from A to Z on their hardest difficulty. That means when we get to, let's say, Doom, I'll be playing it on Ultra Nightmare. To determine the order that the series is going in, I'm using GOG Galaxy 2. For those that don't know, in Galaxy 2, you can link all of your launchers into it, and it will display all the games that you have on the synced launchers. And that's kind of why A Game of Dwarves is the third game in the series, but it will be the first game that I'm actually doing a video on. The other two that were before it are A Blind Legend and Observer, because Observer has a like greater than symbol in front of it. So, yeah, let's talk about A Game of Dwarves now. A Game of Dwarves is a dungeon keeper-like game where you manage a group of dwarves through 14 missions, but the number of dwarves and their levels reset between missions, all while gaining upgrades for your leader and your group along the way. That's the basic gist of the game outside of the levels. You complete the quests inside the levels, gain influence, and then you can unlock an upgrade. Within the levels, you have to manage keeping your dwarves alive along with exploring the area. Your dwarves only need food and sleep to survive, but other resources like gold, stone, iron, wood, etc. are there for upgrading the dwarves and building new things. The main goal of each level is to either kill a certain number of things, kill a certain enemy, or find a number of tablets to unlock a room and use said thing within that room. That's really all there is. The basic premise of the story for the game is this. An evil army led by mages have attacked and taken your homeland many years ago during a great war. You are an irresponsible, lazy prince of the dwarves that has been tasked by your father, the king, to take the lands back. There are very few good marks that I can give Game of Dwarves, but what I can give it are the roles are fairly simple and easy to understand. The randomness of the question marks makes levels interesting, sometimes, and the art style works with the game. Let's start with the roles. The roles that a dwarf can have are simple and straightforward. The digger digs, the warrior fights, the worker gathers from plants, the builder builds, the scholar researches, and the prince stays alive. Pretty standard, right? Only two of these classes are upgradable, though. The scholar can become a researcher, and that speeds up your tech tree research. The warrior upgrades are a little more complicated. You have two different types that can break off into two more types that all can be upgraded one more time. The first choices are between fighter and spear thrower. For the fighter upgrades, you can then become a berserker, which can be upgraded into a slayer, or you can become a shield bearer, which can then be turned into an immortal. Berserkers do a lot of damage quickly, and shield bearers can take a good amount of damage. For the spear thrower, you can become a grenadier, which can turn into a musketeer, or you could become a marksman, which can turn into a sniper. That's all you can upgrade the units in the game. To go with the randomness of the question marks, it's really a give and take, but I'm gonna cover the take later. The randomness of the rooms and what's in them makes the levels interesting sometimes. Not knowing what you're going to run into, and if you're prepared for it, can make for a deadly outcome. And the art style for this whole game, it works for it. It's very cartoonish, and with how cheesy the story and dialogue can be, it works. Kind of. So this is where it gets kind of bad. There's more bad things with this design that I personally didn't like than I actually liked about the game. First off, I ran into multiple bugs while playing through this game. I had levels where the dialogue just kept replaying over and over again. It quickly got very annoying, and I had to take off my headset and mute stream audio because of it. The worst one was on the last mission. Every time the first BBEG, Big Bad Evil Guy, said something, the undercover villain would say something, and it kept repeating again and again until I quit the level to get it to stop. Other bugs that I encountered were my dwarves falling through ladders and getting stuck in the block behind the ladder, or left clicking on something and the dwarves would just walk back and forth, or just refuse to walk towards the thing at all and use it. And also, the dialogue in this game is just not very good. To be honest, I ignored half the dialogue and skipped through most sections. This game is very little voice acting, and most of the dialogue between characters, where you have to read it, and it's mostly like kind of grunting noises, like the older way of sound of dialogue. And about halfway through, I could tell where the story was going, and I kind of just tuned everything out. Then there's also the level design and the randomness of where rooms are. That just, it kind of broke the game for me, and just it kind of ruined my whole enjoyment of the title. The times when it didn't work is when the question marks didn't show up at all until I was like 1 or 2 blocks away, and there were at least 2 levels that I had no clue where the hell I had to go for about 20 to 30 minutes. I couldn't find the question mark blocks at all. When I finally found them, I was just tired of the game by then, and I just pushed to get the level done as quickly as possible. Also, there are levels where a room only has 1 entrance, and the room is surrounded by unbreakable blocks, so you have to find the right depth and the right place to get to that entrance. One of the, I won't say horrible game design decisions, but one of the limiting factors to this game is also the tech tree is very small compared to other games. There are only 39 techs in total, but there are only about 5 lines of tech. One of those lines is just a 2 tech line for the scholar improvement, and another is only connected to a different line by 1 tech. There's no interconnecting lines with prerequisites that you need to meet, and it's all just very, very simple. The thing that completely broke me on this game was, how does ranged work underground? So I'm pretty sure there's a coding issue in there or something that that broke the range for the game, because all of my spear throwers, marksmen, snipers, they were all able to shoot through solid walls to hit the targets. They would only do it if they were on the same level, so they wouldn't shoot a level up or a level down, but it would still shoot through a solid wall that was completely black and like the fog of war, and just still hit the target. So overall, to me, the design of this game made it a test of my endurance more than a thing of enjoyment to play and complete. It's not the worst game I've ever played, but it's not a great game also. I can't recommend that you play this. When there are more bad points to it than there are good, I would always suggest avoiding it. If you're looking for a Dungeon Keeper game, go play Dungeon Keeper or something else. I would not suggest that you try a game of Dwarves. Well, this section of the video is going to be a little more off the cuff because I don't have anything scripted for it. But I just want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. So I know I push my Twitch a little much, twitch.tv/thesandmanking, but that's where I got all this gameplay and stuff from. And the reason I push it more is because compared to YouTube, I think it has better quality with streaming, and that's why I don't stream on YouTube, because it locks you at 720, where that I can go to 1080 no problem. But the reason I push it so much is I feel like there's better interaction over there than there is here. Because here on YouTube, it's just, okay, I upload a video. I look at every comment. I honestly do. I look at every comment. I just don't respond most of the time. Because it's always, oh, nice video. When's this coming out? When's that coming out? I don't know. I honestly don't know when I'm doing stuff. Because if I feel like it, I'll work on it. If I don't feel like it, I'm not going to work on it. I am going to, when I get 100 followers on Twitch, I'm going to start every Tuesday going and working on a chat for like 2 hours at night or in the late afternoon. So that's kind of what it is. Just because I feel like there's more interaction over there, and I kind of would rather do stuff on there than here, to be frank. So if you feel like it and you want to join in the sometimes madness over at twitch.tv, the Sandman King, just looking for a follow. Hit a follow, it's free. Join the madness, have some fun. And yeah, I don't really have much more to say, so peace. I'm out. I'll talk to you later. Have a nice day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, favorite, do all the usual bullshit that people ask you to do. And yeah, peace.